Next up, almost didn't want to talk about this because it could be potentially be a spoiler, but screw this guy. We're going to talk about it anyway because I think it's super entertaining, and this was not where he wanted to go. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of the biggest names in Hollywood, is going through a bit of a rough patch right now. Let's putting it as nicely as possible. Given his age, do we think he's having a midlife crisis? Is that what's happening right now? Is that factoring?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
That's why he's pushing Black Adam so hard?
That is the age you start to fall backwards out of hammocks. Yeah.
Because he flopped harder than Black Adam.
That was so funny. Oh my god.
So what we're talking about is, spoiler alert, for Fast and Furious, if you care, Fast and Furious X, not called Fast 10 Your Seatbelts, and I'm still bitter about that. But according to reliable sources, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has come groveling back and will return to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay all the money in the world to be a fly on the wall for those conversations, to see DJ's people, or DJ himself, go to Vin Diesel and go, so, all those negative things we said about each other very publicly? Can we just, forget about that? And Vin could just look at him and be like, you got a black eye there, Adam? Your family will let you back in, but only if you say that Luke Hobbs sucks and that Dom Toretto has always been better and cooler. And Dwayne just goes, fine.
I've got a tequila brand. I can drink this pain away.
And Vin's like, you definitively let me beat you in a fight. And Dwayne will be like, I don't like it. I don't accept it. But I'll do it. Like, he's honestly right now, looking at some of the choices that Dwayne's making, it feels, I don't want to say desperate, but I'll say desperate because I really don't like Dwayne Johnson right now. They're more or less fast tracking a live action Moana movie coming out because,
oh my gosh,
people like Moana, and he desperately needs a hit right now, to publicly slamming Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious franchise and openly saying he'll never come back, to now, James Gunn kicked me out because my movie kind of sucked, and I gaslit the entire DC fan base into thinking Henry Cavill was coming back.
I'm a nightmare to work with from a producer standpoint. It smells and screams desperation to me, because he was very public about never wanting to come back to the Fast and Furious franchise. Maybe what maybe happened was he saw that terrible mustache that Jason Momoa had, and he was like, no, we can't. I can't let this happen. No, not to this franchise I kind of don't like, but I'm coming back anyway. Like, it's all kinds of desperation smelling, and I do wonder.
It's desperation smelling. If you smell what he's cooking,
know what the Rock is cooking. I do wonder how much of his outside business ventures are funded by his movies. Like, you know what I mean? Because
like
that's the
XFL?
only thing I can. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that there's no real reason to. I mean, you have like one flop. Like, Black Adam wasn't great, sure, but like, your movies are still bringing in a pretty good amount of money. So I don't see why you would be desperate necessarily. But it definitely just reeks of it. So it'll be interesting to see if they do a Hobbs and Shaw 2.
I would be interested in that. I don't give a crap about Fast and Furious, but I actually liked Hobbs and Shaw. However, I believe it was our buddy 3C Phillips who brought up this great point. Now that Dwayne is back, we can get the one match that we're all actually interested in. No, not Dwayne Johnson versus Vin Diesel Part 2. Dwayne Johnson versus John Cena in the Fast and Furious franchise. Because Cena came in I feel like as a replacement for Dwayne Johnson, just be like,
I agree.
well, we no longer have the biggest star of one era of wrestling. We'll get the next biggest star of the next era of wrestling. And we even see John Cena doing AA in the trailer for Fast X. So I'm just going,
it looks super good too, by the way.
Although I do hate that, judging from just some of the trailers, how quickly some of these characters don't act like themselves. Like, guys, wasn't John Cena the villain in the last one? Yet he's cracking wise and just being John Cena in this trailer. But now we have a chance to see John Cena versus The Rock thrice in a lifetime for my fans out there that get that reference.
Oh, man.
Once wasn't enough. Twice wasn't enough. 3 times in a lifetime.
Watch, he's gonna on screen, it's written into the contract that John Cena gets to rip into The Rock one more time about having his lines written on his wrist. Like, come on, I would pay for that. I just that alone.
And then Cena and Dwayne Johnson can be at the craft services table during break and be like, hey, you want to see the script for the next James Gunn DC movie? I don't care what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. And then John just walks away. He's like, hey, I'm getting Peacemaker season 2. How's Black Adam 2 coming along? And just leave, please.
There's just, or like the rematch we've all been waiting for is, oh my gosh, I just lost his name. It's the one moment that I actually like in a Fast and Furious moment where he's like, oh, someone hide your baby oil and hide from that big forehead. Like we'll get a rematch of that. Like, come on, man. Like there's just a lot I think that could be fun. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons I have never really enjoyed the Fast and Furious movies, is because they've always taken themselves way too seriously, and they could be way more fun if they just like cut loose. Like, we abandoned reality in like the 3rd movie. So like, just let us have that again. I don't know, man. It's these movies are for Vin now, I guess.
They really, really are.